Hi, Wayne Nelson from Little River Band. How are you?
I'm good, Jim O'Brien. How are you, sir?
Wonderful. Can't wait to have you here at Andiamo. That is Friday, October 24th. AndiamoShowroom.com for tickets. And it's just a great venue to perform in, too.
It is great. What's so cool about those venues is a lot of times you play a larger crowd or an open crowd, and it's very anonymous. But you go to Andiamo or the Birchmere or Coach House out in California. Those people are right up to the edge of the stage. They're looking up your nose, and you got to bring it for them. It's really good fun. Good fun.
You've never had a problem with that, Wayne. I mean, that's never been an issue. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was when you came to the band and did Night Owl with them. But I'm not saying that's a departure, but to inject yourself into a band that was so successful at the time as well, that's a big swing. You took a big swing at the plate when you joined them.
Well, and vice versa. They took a big swing at the plate with me because they're an Australian band. They're touring in America. I'm in the opening band with Jim Messina, and they watch us for 2 weeks, and then they come up and make that offer. Um, Basically, it was a 2 week audition, and
Really?
it was a very good band. So, but what happened was, and I said the same thing when they asked. I said I need some time. We're going to record an album, but they said we'll call you in April, and I kind of went away going, yeah, sure, you'll call me in April. But they did, and I'm all that time I'm thinking there's a lot of great bass players. There's got to be in Australia that can sing. Why are they doing this? And it was something that one of the songwriters heard. He heard me singing. He knew I was singing in that group, that I could do it, and that he had a vision for adding another lead singer to the band. So they were taking a big swing as well. Yes, I left home and went to Australia and lived there for 6 months, um, but it all worked out. It was meant to be.
Well, yeah, and the lyrics and the music of Little River Band over the years still hold up. It's funny to me. I always give that my son's in music. He wants to be a producer and he's in marketing and stuff. He's going to college right now, and we talk about the 50-year rule. I'm like, you hear a great song 50 years from now, it's still going to be a great song. You start going through the catalog of the Little River Band, and I'm sure when you're playing it on stage, you're like, man, these songs are timeless. They're timeless.
They are, and the reaction from the crowd is what drives that home. We're doing 100 shows this year, and
Wow.
there's a ton of travel and so on and so forth. So the rigor of getting there and getting home is never easy. But when we see people's faces light up as soon as we start playing those songs, and they start flipping the pages of their scrapbook, it's all that's what it's about. It's about their ears, not so much ours. But when we see their reactions, were going, yep, okay, another
Yeah.
night, and these people got turned on, and on we go.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's an absolute honor to be, with Little River Band and doing what you do and being here at Andiamo, but at the same time, there is, I don't know if this is the right word, responsibility to make sure you got it right when you're on stage.
No question.
Okay. All right.
We can, and look, you've seen the band, even across other lineups, there's always great musicians and singers playing Little River Band music, and they always have something special to bring, a special style or a phrasing or something like that. But from the get-go, we go back and listen to the original recording, and we start there, as opposed to, don't start with what you just heard last night when we played the song. We're going back to the history. We're going to honor the history. Then you can add in what you want as we're pulling this together and you get more comfortable. Feel free to be expressive on stage, but we got to go back and start from the foundation of the
Like
house.
the roots of
And
it. Yeah. You got to go
exactly
back
right, the
there.
roots. Good
It,
word. Yeah.
it is an interesting thing, like the difference between musicians and comedians. If a comedian records an album, when they do a live show, people don't want to hear that. They've already heard that.
Yep.
But when you have a body of work, there again, I use the word expectation. When I come to Andiamo, I know I'm going to hear Reminiscing, Cool Change, Lady, Night Owls. I mean, those songs, and because of who you guys are, that's got to be cool though, to just stop and go, I'm on stage as a member of Little River Band, and your time, and just to be here in Detroit, it's I can't imagine what it's like on stage.
It first of all, the responsibility is what takes control. So we're honed in on making sure we're focused, in shape, et cetera, et cetera. But as the momentum builds, all of that kind of settles into place and the crowd takes over the energy. And you're right, it is truly an honor to do that. It is funny. That's ironic that I said funny, but how many times can you hear the same joke and then it's like, no, I know what's coming.
You're
But
right.
the song imprinted something in people's memories. It's a very unique thing that music can do. I don't think humor has the same power, but a great story delivered by good musicians wins every time.
Andiamo Showroom. This will be Friday, October 24th. Doors open at 7, show at 8. Get your tickets started $35. The Andiamo box office or get online, andiamoshowroom.com. When was the first time you remember being on stage with the band? First time you went live with them?
Well, the first time we went live was in an Australian pub. I went
Really?
down there to rehearse, and that was their routine. They would go out into pubs for a couple of weeks, and uh, and Australian pubs are tough because it's a very, very rock and roll, AC/DC, Midnight Oil. Those are the things that so Little River Band's music is a little more tame than those things, but yet the history was there on stage. And if you can make it work for an Australian pub, you can take it to a big stage. And so that's the first thing I remember. But the first big show was in Olympic Stadium in Munich,
Ooh.
125,000 people. So that was, we went from the pubs to, we got off a plane and we did that show in Munich. As a matter of fact, on my 30th birthday. So it was quite a treat.
Did you get a point at some when you're on stage? Did you get a point to just take in the crowd, or you're like, I'm just going to focus on what I'm doing?
No, you couldn't help but take in the crowd. I mean, 125,000, and you're in that iconic place. The Munich Olympics had so much bad history to it, but yet we're still in that stadium with all those people. The greatest thing was it was a cold, nasty, rainy, windy German spring day. And we went on stage, and I swear to you, the clouds parted, the sun came down, everybody got to dry out a little bit, and it lasted for an hour. We walked off stage, and the rain started again. So we had a golden spot there in that day. It was very cool.
You don't get nervous when you're on stage now, do you?
No, I
No?
didn't then. I didn't then either. Excuse me. Their Little River Band's music was so ingrained, and I did a lot of time studying the songs that I hadn't heard on the radio. Um, and I knew that I was hired to be me. And when I was playing the songs and playing the original bass parts, it was like I had learned all the other songs that I learned when we were doing 6 sets a night in Chicago. You know what I mean? Playing
Right.
pop music. It was there, and it was straightforward stuff. You just had to make sure you remember the arrangements. But once we got done with rehearsals, I was ready to go. It's like I say, it's that, okay, showtime. Let's go. Let's do it. It's like playing a football game. You get amped up and then you go out there and you do it.
Yeah, if you don't know by then, you're probably in trouble walking out on stage, right?
Exactly
Yeah,
right. If you're
yeah,
nervous,
yeah.
if you're nervous, then you're in trouble. Yeah.
So we're going to see you at Andiamo here on the 24th, andiamoshowroom.com. Let me ask you something, Wayne Nelson. Let me ask this question. Someone comes up to you and they go, I've never heard your music. I've never heard Little River Band. I know the name. I've never heard a song. What's the first song that you play for them? You go, okay, this is us. This encapsulates the band.
Wow. Uh, Oddly enough, it wouldn't be Reminiscing.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be uh, Lonesome Loser. Those are kind of the extremes of styles for that time.
That
I
song, by the
think,
way, is like Australian Eagles to me. It
yeah,
really is.
well,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
close,
That
yeah.
vibe. Yeah.
But the song I would play and be most proud of is "Take It Easy on Me." It has all of the elements of a solid vocal rock pop band with a great story, big vocals, so on and so forth. But it's right in the center lane of, here's your story. We're not trying to, set the world on fire with some kind of wacky sound or spandex or whatever. This is straightforward. We're going to tell you this story. I think that's the one I would put up there first.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Although you have to admit, with Reminiscing, how many people had a mixtape in their car off on a first date and you had that queued up when you were dropping them off, right?
No question. If they came up and said,
Absolutely.
"Hey, I've got your greatest hits on three different formats. I'll play Reminiscing or I'll play any of them. It doesn't matter." But if somebody doesn't know the music, I would go, "This is solid." You can't help but go, "Okay, good song.
Yeah.
Play me some more." Then I
And
do
the
help us.
and the guitar playing on this song is beautiful too. I mean,
Yes,
there's some really good DNA to rock and roll in it as well.
absolutely. The next one I do is Help Is On Its Way because it's also got a great feel
Yeah.
and a great message. And then you start going fringes. You go to Happy Anniversary, which is half disco, half, R&B kind of thing, and Man on Your Mind or Lady, you know what I mean? But I think Take It Easy on Me has got the elements that say, that's a 80s pop song.
This is going to be so much fun. I really do appreciate the time, Wayne. It's an honor talking to you, and congratulations on continued success. Little River Band, Andiamo Showroom.com here on a Friday night in the Motor City. We'll all come out and just have a great time, and we'll reminisce with you. See what I did? I tied the song
I,
title
I,
to it.
I heard that, Jim. I
Yeah.
heard it. Never heard that one before.
I know, first guy ever. You're like,
First time
what?
ever.
Somebody finally did that. No, it's fantastic. Real quick story about that. The reason I brought up Reminiscing is I was laughing when I was in the Navy, and my friend Greg Skipworth had a mixtape in his car, and we were in submarine school, and we would borrow his car if we were going to take a girl out on a date. He had a bottle of Polo in the glove box. It was a Chevy Cavalier, and on the mixtape, the first two songs, when you pick them up, was Gregory Abbott, "Shake You Down," and "Reminiscing" by Little River Band.
You
Those were
covered
the
a lot of
ease you
ground.
into the evening songs. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. So if I smell Polo, I immediately start hearing Little River Band in my brain. It's like it's Pavlovian. Who knew?
That's funny.
Pololovian? Is that a thing? I don't know.
I, you got me, but I'll look it up.
Thank you for the time, Wayne. We'll see you at Andiamo.